much fun was that out there? It seemed like you were just kind of in your game tonight.
I was just trying to win the game. Just help my team on any aspect of the game to get the dub, and that's what we did.
David, is a night like tonight one of those dream come true moments?
Yes, most definitely.
If you don't mind kind of just expanding on that, just getting in there and doing what you're able to do tonight in a win.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm proud of myself. I hope my dad proud of me as well. And I was just having fun. Yeah, dream come true for sure.
Mitch said they were joking with you after the last game that you looked really nervous.
I was nervous. Yeah, they was.
What about today?
Coach talked to me this morning, and he just told me to be myself and to bring my energy off the bench. And you know, I looked a little more loose today out there. So.
Does it feel like an opportunity for you when Dylan's not able to play, Steph's not able to play? There's minutes to be had. Do you look at that as I have to take this opportunity and run with it?
I just look at it as opportunity to help the team keep winning basketball games because we want to do something big and here this year. So it's just an opportunity to help the team win.
Do nights like these help you just realize maybe, you talk about the nerves, but does it give you this confidence of like, I belong at this level playing in the NBA? Does a night like this kind of reaffirm that for you?
Yeah, definitely build you confidence a little bit more. And it just help you keep working every day harder and harder to get where you're trying to get.
You got a lot of big plays tonight, but what was your favorite moment of the entire night?
When I got the steal on the dunk. Yeah, that was my favorite one. When I got both of the steal, actually, because Jeremy got a dunk when I got the first one, and the second one I got one.
When was the last game you played in the G League? What day?
It was last Sunday.
Last Sunday?
Yeah.
When you speak about your confidence, how does the energy of the arena, the Spurs fans, how do they feed into your confidence for a game like this?
The fans help a lot. We will never win without them. As loud as they get, how much love they show the team, it just give us that extra that we need to get a dub, especially in home court. I think we have done a great job this year of taking care of home court, and we definitely appreciate the fans, and I love them too because they show me love since summer league. So yeah.
What does that mean for you when you're the guy that they come over to and give the microphone to so that you can talk to those fans? Is that kind of an unreal moment for you?
Yeah, because it's always good to talk to the fans, to have somebody, just hearing your voice, and yeah, that was a great moment that I just went through after the game.
You mentioned your dad at the beginning when you sat here. Were you thinking about him while you're out there tonight?
I always think about him. He's right here on my arm. Not on my left, on my left is my mom. This hand right. So yeah.
You guys have won 3 without Victor now, 2 without Steph. What does it say about the depth of this team and y'all's ability just to kind of perform even when you guys have players out?
Yeah, just like I say, we got a lot of guys, we got a lot of bodies to, even a player like Vic that you definitely need on your team to win games. Is not able to play like Steph. You still got guys who can step up and help the team in a lot of different ways to win basketball games. And our depth is great. And coach believe in every single player that we got on the roster. And that's big for a team that they want to make a deep run in the playoff.
David, you realize that you were talking about your last G League game? Them dudes in the locker room were watching you?
Yeah.
Weird to think that they're watching you and then tonight you're on the floor with those guys.
It is. I mean, That's the other thing too. This team supports the G League team a lot. They always keep up with the G League team. When I got here, they was talking about games from the G League for last year, which speaks a lot about the connection, the organization, and the kind of players they bring into the Spurs. And yeah, it is kind of crazy though.
Anybody else? Thank you, David.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
Oh, David Jones-Garcia. Oh my gosh. They like you, huh? Todo bien. Habían heridos hoy. Y tú entraste y superaste. Háblanos un poquito de eso.
El coach habló conmigo y me dijo que iba a jugar más minutos hoy. Y él quería que yo empatara el juego jugando defensa y con mi energía. Y eso fue lo que hice.
Pero superaste.
Ayudar a ganar.
Nosotros tenemos los fanáticos mejores del mundo aquí. The best fans in the world. Y ellos te han recibido con los brazos abiertos. ¿Cómo te sientes, los fanáticos?
Me siento súper bien desde el verano. Desde el primer juego que jugué, sentí el amor y el cariño que me dieron los fanáticos de San Antonio. Estoy muy agradecido. Lo quiero, lo amo y que sigan apoyando al equipo durante toda la temporada, que vamos a hacer algo bonito y grande este año, si Dios quiere.
Eso, tú sabes que nosotros siempre terminamos esto con un Go Spurs Go, a la 3. ¿Lo vamos a hacer? Lo hacemos juntos. 1, 2, 3, Go Spurs Go!
Not only did you fulfill your late dad on your promise, but on mine and my girlfriend's anniversary, you tore that shit up like Terry Labonte. This is exactly what you did in the fucking summer league that I expected you to do with the big boys, and you already fucking did it. So good job, David. I'm fucking proud of you. Now, Mitch Johnson, Brian Wright pop in the front office, as well as RC Buford in the Holts. Better promote your ass, otherwise we are going to riot, meaning somebody that we signed during the offseason is getting the boot if they're smart enough to promote you. But this is why I picked you to be one of my homeboys and current favorite players in San Antonio this year. And if you leave ever, I'm going to be sad. So please do not leave this team. Do not leave the city of San Antonio. I fucking love you. So let's talk about the game as a whole combined with the David Jones-Garcia masterclass. The Hawks got off to a good start, to a 5-0 lead before we eventually got on the board with a few buckets. First, we had this, what does he do here again? Yeah, it was a Young Devo basket. I was right the first time. A Young Devo, free throw line jumper. And then what happened here was a Luke Cornett basket in the paint, an easy layup. And then we took our first lead of the game where Harrison Barnes, a.k.a. Mr. 100%, lived up to his nickname. Bang, bang, Tito Puente. So it was neck and neck to start, which is usually normal for any NBA game, no matter if it's two good teams or two bad teams, or one good team versus one bad team. So therefore, it was only a matter of time before we took over the game, bidding bucket after bucket. And it was raining threes in the SBC Center with the old Alamo Dome colors. Nowadays, whenever we use look at this, bang, bang, Tito Puente, and one by Jules. Nowadays, since we brought back the 2020, 2021 COVID vaccine, City Edition Fiesta jerseys, it feels like we're combining two eras in one, the SBC Center and the Alamo Dome all in one. So it makes me feel like I'm living in the 90s again on West 122nd and the pre-Mexico Lenore days, because by the time we got back from Mexico, back to the Lenore house in Michigan, we already went to this arena with, we initially ditched the Fiesta colors when we thought they were gone for good, until we eventually brought them back, since a lot of people in the Spurs fan base, myself included, complained because we got tired of seeing fucking camo jerseys every single year. It was just they were recycling the same stupid shit over and over again in terms of the uniforms, and we were like, we want Fiesta. We don't want the camo jerseys anymore. It was a good idea to begin with, but it eventually overstayed its welcome and ran its course. So they eventually did get rid of it. And goes to show you that sometimes the people in sports listen to the fans, and most important of all, sports and life in general, complaining does work sometimes. So therefore, I'm glad we got what we wanted, and it was only a matter of time before we got good again after 6 miserable seasons in San Antonio, where the light has been dark. But if we keep this up until the end of the regular season, after the season finale against the Nuggets, and our house will be back in the playoffs for the first time since 2019, which we all know should have been Tony Parker's last playoff hoorah after the retirement of Ginobili the previous year and the retirement of Duncan 3 years earlier. But unfortunately, due to the basketball gods, we cannot have nice things, considering, Murray's bitch ass ran him out of the fucking team because they couldn't see eye to eye on, who are starting the point guard job. Okay, anyway, let's not get into that. Here we go. David Jones-Garcia right here. This is where his masterclass began. So, therefore, this is the moment he came in, he started lighting it up like Lizzie Green, scoring buckets, rebounding, handing out dimes, all that good shit. I mean, I'm sorry that Tony Parker leaving the Spurs in 2019 rant sidetracked me a little bit, but, as soon as David Jones-Garcia came in, that's when our momentum, what's a word? That's when our momentum started, to oh my God, what the fuck am I trying to say? That's where we gained a momentum booster. My God. I'm sorry about that, guys. But, it looked like we were going to blow the game wide open, considering, we had the Hawks where we wanted them, but then we started to get a little sloppy with the third quarter blues, which didn't come till like the end of the third quarter. It didn't really come till then. So therefore, we kind of let them back in it. And I was like, I swear to God, if we let David Jones-Garcia career night slip away, if we let his career night go to waste and, letting this game slip away and then you spoil mine and Emily's anniversary, I'm going to be pissed off at you guys. I mean, the fourth quarter looked like, they were going to lose control. Right here, I thought this game was over and that the Hawks were going to, cruise away to a comeback victory right here. But, the Spurs figured out how to play basketball when it mattered most. Unlike, the previous 6 Spurs teams in the previous 6 seasons that would get big leads, relax. And here's David Jones-Garcia handing out dime. This is where we started to go on the run. The previous 6 Spurs teams of the previous 6 Spurs seasons would not have done this. As soon as they would have blown the lead, they never would have gained it back. Only 5% of the time they would gain it back and, or hold on to it. Well, 95% of the time they would blow it and, and never, get it back or let alone hold on to it. So therefore, man, it's like, this is where this bam, like Ken Schrader goes Julian Champagny. Look at the bench enjoying it, and here's the Jeremy Sohan jam right here. And then I think Young Devo had a jam after this. Hold on, here's the bench going crazy. Wemby and Castle in street clothes. Okay, here's the Young Devo jam, considering I forgot to capture the Sohan jam myself. I was too busy going wild. And last but not least, look at Jones-Garcia. You clapped that son of a bitch up, my man. Here you are with the dunk of your own. Wepa. Un, dos, tres. Un pasito pa'lante, Garcia. And that was the David Jones-Garcia masterclass on mine and Emily's anniversary, which goes to show you it was meant to be. Go Spurs, go. That was easily the best day ever. I'll never forget this night as long as I live. I'll remember it forever. Especially as long as Emily and I stay together until the end of time. I mean, can we get this same magic for my Ricky Craven / Sean Elliott 32nd birthday when we race the Daytona 500 for my own special day? Let's keep our fingers crossed, considering this will be the first Daytona 500 and first full NASCAR season without my grandmother, considering this is my first full Spurs season without her too. So I'm gonna have to live the rest of my life as a Spurs fan and NASCAR fan without her. So we're gonna make her proud the same way David Jones-Garcia made his dad proud. So please hand him the keys, to being promoted to play more minutes, meaning somebody like Lindy Waters is gonna have to get the boot or something. If anyone gets the boot at the positive expense of David Jones-Garcia getting promoted and return a negative expense getting someone demoted or completely booted off the team, as long as it's not McLaughlin. I know some people say Garcia is better than McLaughlin. which I can respect that opinion, but at least with McLaughlin, at least he has the experience of being here, and he's proven when given minutes he can actually do stuff. I mean, Lindy Waters has barely contributed, if anything. I mean, he's not really doing John Andretti and Richard Petty's old number any justice like Brad Doherty did with the Cavs. I mean, it's coming from an anti-Cavs fan, I must say, I like myself, who's a Spurs fan living in their territory. So I do like Brad Doherty and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. I do like them, but fuck that fake Kyle Petty / Adam Petty fraud of Mitchell. So therefore, but that's neither here or there. So therefore, the Spurs, that was either the greatest day and one of the most magical and greatest days and nights of my life, and basically all I can say is that the Spurs knew that it was mine and my lady's special day, and they made sure to do that just for her and me. And David Jones-Garcia saw that I picked him to be one of my current favorite players in San Antonio, so that's why he put on that masterclass for Emily and I, and he tore that shit up like Terry Labonte. Way to go, buddy. And the last thing I'll say, all those things the Spurs and David Jones-Garcia did, it was not just for Emily and I, but it was also for my lady friend, my next door neighbor Kelly, Peanut Butter Lady's best friend, Jamie Oliski, for her Kyle Adam Petty 45th birthday. Yeah, Kyle and Adam Petty, not Fraudovan Mitchell, because that playoff choking one trick pony is nothing but not only a playoff choking whatchamacallit. He's a playoff choking one trick pony, but he's also an insult to Kyle, Adam, and the whole rest of the Petty family, and doesn't deserve to have the 45, unlike Doherty with the King's number, who wore it with grace and dignity, as if you know the whole story about Doherty wearing the Richard Petty's number. But still reasoning that Fraudovan knows nothing about what the King's grandson's number. But okay, I gotta get that tangent out of the way. But Lindy Waters is not doing any justice with the 43. So if David Jones-Garcia gets promoted, I could say bye-bye Waters. I mean, hopefully if someone gets booted off this team mid-season, it's probably going to be Waters, but personally I want it to be Olynyk. That way we can put Patty Mills' number in the rafters. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck was I saying? I forget.
You know what? I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, I now remember now. The Spurs not only did that for Emily and I for our anniversary, but Kelly, my next door neighbor, Peanut Butter Lady, they also did that for her best friend, Jamie Olitsky, the one who I love very, very much as well, for not her Fraudovan Mitchell 45th birthday, but her Kyle Petty / Adam Petty 45th birthday. So that's why I got into the Fraudovan tangent, because after all, that fraud is a one-trick playoff choking one-trick pony, a regular season merchant who chokes it up in the playoffs when it matters most, since he was in Utah. I tried to warn the Crapalair fans last year about it, saying, they were getting too cocky, saying they were going to win a second championship because they had a great season. Well, regular season and playoffs are two totally different ball games, and the fact that every year for every team is different, no matter how good each team's sees roster, different seasons, different roster. How no matter what the rosters look like for each team for every season, whatever, in terms of good rosters, every good season for every team is different. Some years you're going to come out on top. Some years you're going to choke in the playoffs, and every once in a while, a choking in the playoffs thing is an every single year thing. So therefore, I tried to warn them. Well, Fraudovan is not the kind of guy you want to have on your team during the playoffs, because he'll just choke and disappear, kind of like James Harden or David Robinson for us until Tim Duncan got there. And guess what? I called that shit, and he decides to be a pussy and sit out the elimination game, knowing he's going to get embarrassed on TV. I highly doubt that fucker was even injured, so get the fuck out of here. But I'm not one to celebrate injuries, but he got what he deserved in that one for fighting Zach Attack Collins when I went to watch the Spurs play those bums in San Antonio right before my Jeff Green 30th birthday. But even though Zach Attack is not on the Spurs no more, that fake Kyle Petty is still on my shit list and always will be until the end of time. I mean, if he decides to leave that fraudulent basketball team, the 2016 Mickey Mouse champions, then maybe my hatred for him will go down a little bit. But as long as he's in with the Crapalaires, then he'll be on my shit list as long as as long as possible. But anyway, I'm sorry for the rant and tangent. Go ahead, my real life friends who live here in Ohio, go ahead and roast me in the comments. I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, we have 5 rings. You only have 1, which are 5 are legit. Yours was one singular ring, was a fraudulent luck-based, undeserved, fake-ass Mickey Mouse championship that you only got because Draymond got suspended, and we basically wrecked the Warriors' momentum. And this is someone coming from someone who kind of doesn't like the Warriors either, but it's the lesser of two evils since I have some good people, regular people, and show peeps who are Warriors fans. But anyway, so therefore the next Spurs game will be against the Suns in Phoenix, the rematch against Lisa, the sisters, Alicia and Lisa's team. Alicia, the Phoenix Suns in arena host, and her sister Lisa, who I met at the Checkout Ports 500 at the Phoenix International Raceway, during the championship weekend that Sunday. So if I see Alicia on my TV or watching the game on the Gen Play with the Spurs commentary version, I will take a picture of it and post it on social media and tag her that way she can see it. So she can see, even though I'm a Spurs fan, I support her as a person because her sister was really, really sweet to me at the NASCAR race. So therefore, I do support my friends on opposing teams, while supporting my own. So as long as they're good people to me in person and not like those deluded Cavs fans, then that's all I care about. I mean, not all Cavs fans are bad, but there are some good ones out there. But a lot of them, including ones I knew in real life, were the most obnoxious and toxic people when they were on that run in 2015 and 16 and 17. And now all of a sudden, I think there's they turned the tide and a little quieter now. They're not as obnoxious and toxic now, but they're pretty much more on the quiet side, if anything. But anyway, let's get off this fucking thing. I'll schedule this for early afternoon upload or something, because right now it's 5 o'clock in the morning here on the East Coast of Northeast Ohio. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing planned. No Spurs game was on technically yesterday. No Spurs game on technically later tonight. But tomorrow, technically tomorrow or just Sunday, I will be watching, do I see my friend Alicia do her thing at the America West Arena, and then, we'll do a haircut. Well, I don't know. I don't think we're going to do a haircut video. We're not going to do, we're getting haircuts on Monday. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the Arizona trip on Monday and schedule it for a Tuesday upload. And then we're going to have a Thanksgiving video on Thursday, go over the Black Friday game on Friday, and then get ready for season 5 of Winter Wonderland and the Christmas season starting on December 1st until Christmas for us comes to an end, December 26th through the 29th, and then the 30th through the January 1st. We're going to ring in 2026 and then finish off season 5 of Winter Wonderland before we have to tell Winter to get the fuck back out of here come the second weekend of March during the Subway Fresh Fit 500 at Phoenix International Raceway, and then get ready for hopefully the return of Spring is in the Air and Fun in the Sun to get back out in Sandy Ridge out of hibernation and open it back up, even though that's a long ways away from now. Hopefully this is not as long as of an off season as last year was. I felt like last year dragged on for us more than it ever did in the past year, more than it will this year and beyond with the stuff going out in the grandma. But before you know it, season 5 of Spring is in the Air and season 6 of Fun in the Sun will be here before you know it. But even then, it'll just go by with a blink of an eye, just like it does every other year, including this year. So maybe the next summer, it'll hopefully be it'll be a less boring summer in Sandy Ridge. We can get more YouTube videos done like we did in past years before this past summer, even during the 2023 abomination we call season 3 of Fun in the Sun. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night, and I will see you guys for that next video, which will be the Spurs Suns review on Sunday night. I mean, I won't be doing a haircut video on Monday because I want to make sure I get the Arizona trip in before Adventures in Autumn season 5, which we're in right now, comes to an end on November 30th, which will be the season, we did a fall finale in 2023 as a placeholder for the walk-off that did not happen in 2023 because of our health. And due to the fact that we weren't sure, me and my mom weren't sure of the weather this year, that's why the walk-off that we planned ended up getting scrapped, because we weren't sure of the weather conditions, how severe they were going to be, and how productive Sandy Ridge was going to be. So I guess we'll try again in a future year, but I hope we can get at least one walk-off in. And during one of these Adventures in Autumn season before our time in Sandy Ridge will eventually come to an end someday, because that day is eventually going to come no matter how much we don't want it to. But just since it's not time for that yet, let's cherish every moment we have here in the happiest place in Northeast Ohio while we can, while we're still here. So I will catch you guys in the next Spurs game review and the next, not regular video that's not NASCAR related or Spurs related. And then on the Thanksgiving video, oh yeah, and by the way, let's do this. Monday we'll work on and upload the Arizona trip, and then Tuesday we'll do the Phoenix race review. We'll just recap the Checkout Parts 500 and for the most part, and briefly talk about the Basha Supermarket 200 since I didn't get to do it immediately when it first happened. So that'll be my last NASCAR race review of the season. That way I can finish what I started with the NASCAR season right before Thanksgiving. So I'll catch you all for whatever the batch of videos I'm gonna make next until season 5 of Winter Wonderland starts on December 1st when we get into the Christmas spirit ourselves. See you later, everyone. And as always, go Spurs, go.
Yo, who say you gotta be a big man to compete in the NBA? Not us, Shouty. That's right. Allen and Jerome. That's us. We gonna creep on in. Creeping like a creeper. And drop some Stephon Marbury inner city funk. I'd love to see the face of the fool trying to D my slamming moves to the hole. Yo, David, you may be bigger than me, but you need to get yourself some Coppertone lotion. Why that, baby? Because you just got burned. Go, Spurs, go!
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.